Right now, as you're watching this, there's probably someone occupying space in your mind. Someone you wish you could forget but somehow can't. Maybe it's 3 a.m. and their face flashes behind your closed eyelids. Maybe you're scrolling through old photos, wondering what could have been. You tell yourself to move on, yet here you are, trapped in an endless loop of thoughts about them. What if I told you this isn't weakness? What if this obsession is actually your psyche's desperate attempt to fulfill a fundamental human need that's been left unmet? Abraham Maslow understood something profound about human nature. We don't just think, we yearn. Every thought, every obsession, every person who haunts our mind is connected to our deepest psychological needs. And when someone won't leave your thoughts, it's because they're tied to a need so fundamental that your mind refuses to let go until it's satisfied. Your brain isn't randomly fixating on this person. It's sending you a message about what's missing in your life. What part of your human potential remains unfulfilled? Maslow said, "What a man can be, he must be." And the person consuming your thoughts might represent exactly what you must become, but haven't yet allowed yourself to be. The human psyche operates on a hierarchy of needs, and when someone stays in your mind, they're connected to one of these core drives. Maybe they represent the love and belonging you're craving, the esteem you feel you lack, or even the self-actualization you're desperately seeking. Your obsessive thoughts aren't random. They're your mind's way of showing you what's missing from your emotional landscape. Think about it. When did this person first capture your thoughts? What were you going through? What need in your life felt unmet? The answers to these questions hold the key to understanding why your mind won't let them go. Because according to Maslow, until our fundamental needs are addressed, we remain psychologically incomplete, and our thoughts will keep circling back to whatever represents that missing piece. But here's what most people don't realize. The person you can't stop thinking about isn't just an individual. They've become a symbol of your unfulfilled potential. And that's where the real psychology gets fascinating. The mirror of your unfulfilled self. You see, Maslow discovered something revolutionary about human psychology. We don't just love people for who they are. We're drawn to them because of who we could become through them. The person occupying your thoughts isn't just someone you once knew. They've become a reflection of your unrealized self. Have you ever wondered why you're not obsessing over your neighbor or your coworker, but instead fixated on this specific person? It's because they embody something you recognize as missing within yourself. Maslow called this the hierarchy of needs, but what he really discovered was the hierarchy of becoming. When someone captures your thoughts this intensely, they represent a level of self-actualization you haven't reached yet. Maybe they exude the confidence you wish you had, the freedom you crave, or the authenticity you're afraid to express. Your mind keeps returning to them because they're showing you a version of yourself that you need to embrace. This is why letting go feels impossible. It's not just about releasing a person, it's about confronting the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Maslow understood that the story of the human race is the story of men and women selling themselves short. The person you can't stop thinking about represents the full version of yourself that you've been afraid to become. But here's the twist. Your obsession with them is actually preventing you from becoming that person. Instead of embodying the qualities you admire in them, you're stuck in a loop of longing, projecting your potential onto someone else rather than claiming it for yourself. Your psyche is trying to tell you something crucial. Stop looking for your completeness in another person and start recognizing it within yourself. The confidence, the passion, the depth you see in them, those qualities already exist within you. They're just waiting to be activated. Maslow said, if you plan on being anything less than you are capable of being, you will probably be unhappy all the days of your life. Your obsessive thoughts are your mind's way of preventing this unhappiness by showing you exactly what you're capable of becoming. The person haunting your thoughts is holding up a mirror to your potential. The question is, are you ready to stop staring at the reflection and start becoming the person looking back at you? Because until you do, your mind will keep you trapped in this cycle, showing you the same message over and over again. The emotional prison of unmet needs. And that message is about the emotional prison you've unknowingly built around yourself. Every time you think about this person, you're actually feeling the weight of your unmet psychological needs pressing against the walls of your self-imposed limitations. Maslow identified that humans have a fundamental need for love and belonging, but what he discovered goes deeper. We need to feel worthy of love, worthy of connection, worthy of the life we truly desire. When someone stays in your thoughts, it's often because they made you feel, even briefly, like you deserve those things you've been denying yourself. Think about the last time this person truly consumed your thoughts. What feeling did thinking about them trigger? Was it longing, regret, hope? Whatever emotion arose, that's your psyche showing you exactly what need remains unfulfilled in your life. If you feel longing, you're craving deeper connection, not just with them, but with life itself. If you feel regret, you're mourning the parts of yourself you've never allowed to flourish. If you feel hope, you're recognizing possibilities you've been too afraid to pursue. Your brain creates what neuroscientists call emotional imprints, neural pathways that connect specific people to specific feelings. But here's what they don't tell you. These imprints become strongest when someone represents a need that's been chronically unmet. Your mind literally wires itself to keep thinking about them because they symbolize what you've been starving yourself of emotionally. Maslow observed that we fear our highest possibilities as well as our lowest ones. The person you can't stop thinking about represents your highest possibilities, the version of yourself that's unafraid, authentic, and fully alive. But instead of moving toward that version, you've made them responsible for making you feel that way. This is the emotional prison. You've given someone else the key to your own fulfillment. Every time you think about them, you're reinforcing the belief that your happiness, your worth, your sense of completeness depends on them. But the truth Maslow understood is that these needs can only be truly met from within. The reason they won't leave your thoughts is because your psyche knows this person awakens something in you that's still dormant. They didn't create these qualities, they revealed them. The passion, excitement, or sense of aliveness you felt around them was always yours. They just provided the mirror that let you see it. But staying trapped in thoughts about them is like staring at a photograph of the sun instead of stepping outside into the light. Your mind is trying to show you that what you're seeking exists within you, not within them. The prison door is open. You just have to be brave enough to walk through it and reclaim what was always yours. Because when you do, something extraordinary happens. And that's where the real transformation begins. When the universe conspires to awaken you, suddenly, everywhere you look, there are signs. Their favorite song plays on the radio just when you're trying to forget them. You see their name on social media, whispered in conversations around you. Coincidence? Maybe. But what if these synchronicities are actually your unconscious mind's way of forcing you to pay attention to something crucial about your own growth? Maslow believed that self-actualization often comes through what he called peak experiences, moments when we transcend our ordinary consciousness and glimpse our true potential. These synchronicities might be your psyche's way of creating a peak experience, using this person as a catalyst to awaken something profound within you. Your mind is incredibly powerful. When you're emotionally charged about someone, you become hyper-aware of anything connected to them. But here's the deeper truth. These signs aren't about them, they're about you. They're your unconscious mind's way of saying, pay attention. There's something here you need to understand about yourself. Each synchronicity is like a breadcrumb leading you back to your authentic self. That song that reminds you of them, it's really reminding you of who you were when you felt most alive. That random encounter with their name, it's triggering a memory of when you felt most like yourself. Maslow said, what is necessary to change a person is to change his awareness of himself. These synchronicities are changing your awareness, showing you that you have the power to create meaning, to notice patterns, to feel deeply connected to life itself. The person you're thinking about has become a vehicle for your own spiritual awakening. But here's what's really happening. Your mind is teaching you that you're the creator of these experiences. You're not just passively receiving signs from the universe. You're actively participating in creating meaning from the chaos of daily life. This is a profound realization of your own psychological power. The synchronicities will continue until you get the message. You are not a victim of your circumstances or your emotions. You are the architect of your own experience. The person haunting your thoughts is showing you exactly how powerful your mind is at creating reality, at finding connection, at generating meaning from the seemingly random events of life. When you truly understand this, when you realize that your ability to create these meaningful coincidences reveals your capacity to create a meaningful life, something shifts. You stop looking for signs about them and start recognizing your power to create signs about your own journey. And that's when the real magic happens, when you realize this person has been preparing you for something much bigger than you ever imagined. The archetype of your becoming. This person has transcended being just a human being in your mind. They become something larger, more symbolic. They represent not who they actually are, but who you are becoming. In psychological terms, they've become an archetype of your own transformation. Maslow understood that self-actualization isn't just about meeting your needs. It's about becoming the fullest expression of who you're meant to be. The person consuming your thoughts has become a symbol of that fullest expression. They represent the version of yourself that's unafraid, authentic, passionate, and fully alive. But here's the profound realization. They're not this archetype because of their inherent qualities. They've become this archetype because of what they awakened in you. The courage you admired in them? It's your courage waiting to emerge. The passion you found magnetic? It's your passion asking to be expressed. The authenticity that drew you to them? It's your authentic self demanding to be seen. When someone becomes an archetype in your psyche, it means they've served their purpose as a catalyst. Maslow said, "The ability to be in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness." Your obsessive thoughts about this person are actually preventing you from being present with your own growth. Think about what they represent to you. Freedom? Write down what freedom would look like in your own life. Confidence? Identify the areas where you're holding yourself back. Love? Recognize the ways you're not loving yourself fully. They become a mirror showing you exactly what you need to develop within yourself. This is why the obsession feels so consuming. Your psyche knows that this person holds the key to your next level of growth, but you've been looking for that key in the wrong place. You've been searching for it in them when it's actually within you. The archetype they've become in your mind is really your future self calling to you. Every quality you see in them, every feeling they evoke, every reason you can't stop thinking about them, it's all information about who you're meant to become. Maslow discovered that self-actualized people share certain characteristics. They're authentic, creative, spontaneous, and deeply connected to their own values. If this person embodies these qualities for you, it's because your psyche is showing you your own potential for self-actualization. The obsession ends when you stop projecting these qualities onto them and start embodying them yourself. When you become the person you see in them, when you live with the authenticity, passion, and presence that drew you to them, your mind no longer needs to keep them alive in your thoughts. They will have served their purpose as a catalyst for your transformation, and that transformation is about to set you free in ways you never imagined possible. The liberation of self-actualization. The moment you realize that everything you've been seeking in this other person already exists within you is the moment your liberation begins. This isn't just psychological theory. This is the practical pathway to freeing your mind from the endless loop of thoughts that have been holding you captive. Maslow's concept of self-actualization isn't just about reaching your potential. It's about recognizing that your potential has been there all along, waiting for you to claim it. The person you can't stop thinking about has been your teacher, showing you exactly what you're capable of becoming when you stop living in limitation and start living in possibility. Here's your path to freedom. First, take every quality that draws you to this person and ask yourself how you can embody it in your own life. If they represent confidence, where in your life can you step into your power? If they embody freedom, what limitations are you ready to release? If they symbolize love, how can you love yourself and others more fully? Second, understand that your obsessive thoughts are actually your inner wisdom trying to break through. Every time you think about them, your psyche is asking, when will you become this person? When will you live this fully? When will you stop settling for less than what you're capable of? Maslow said, "A musician must make music, an artist must paint, a poet must write if he is to be ultimately at peace with himself." What must you create, express, or become to be at peace with yourself? The answer lies in everything this person represents to you. The liberation process begins with radical self-honesty. Stop making them responsible for your feelings and start taking responsibility for your own emotional fulfillment. Stop waiting for them to validate your worth and start validating yourself. Stop hoping they'll return to complete you and start recognizing that you're already complete. When you shift from seeking fulfillment through them to creating fulfillment within yourself, something miraculous happens. The obsessive thoughts begin to fade because they're no longer needed. Your psyche stops fixating on them because you've received the message and taken action on it. This is true emotional freedom, not the absence of feeling, but the presence of choice. You can think about this person with gratitude for what they taught you without being controlled by thoughts of them. You can appreciate what they represented while fully embodying those qualities yourself. The person who once consumed your thoughts becomes a beautiful memory, a catalyst that helped you discover your own capacity for growth, love, and authenticity. They remain important in your story, but they no longer control your narrative. Maslow believed that the goal of human life is to become fully ourselves, not to lose ourselves in another person. Your obsessive thoughts were actually your psyche's way of preventing you from losing yourself by showing you exactly who you're meant to become. When you embrace this truth, when you step into the fullness of your own potential, you don't just free your mind, you free your entire life to become the extraordinary experience it was always meant to be. The person you can't stop thinking about came into your life to awaken something within you that was waiting to be born. They showed you glimpses of your own potential, reflected back your capacity for deep feeling, and demonstrated the kind of authentic living that your soul craves. But the real transformation happens when you stop looking for these qualities in them and start cultivating them within yourself. Your obsessive thoughts weren't a weakness. They were your psyche's way of showing you exactly what you need to become fully yourself. Every emotion, every longing, every sleepless night was preparing you for this moment of recognition. You already contain everything you've been seeking. If this exploration has opened your eyes to the deeper psychology of your own mind, show your appreciation by hitting that like button. It helps this transformative content reach others who need to hear this message. Subscribe to our channel because we're committed to bringing you the profound insights that unlock your true potential every single day. Ring that notification bell so you never miss the content that could change your life. Your journey toward emotional freedom and self-actualization starts now. The person in your thoughts has served their purpose as your teacher. It's time to become the student who graduates into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Until next time, remember, you are not broken, you are not obsessed, you are awakening. And that awakening is the most beautiful thing you'll ever experience.